Unlike Gene Phillips with Screaming Eagle, Bill Harlan deliberately set out to create a world-class wine. Specifically, it was his goal to create a California first growth that would rival the quality of the great first growths in Bordeaux. The catalyst for Mr. Harlan's vision was a conversation with Robert Mondavi. This conversation ultimately led Mr. Harlan to travel to France, where he met with top producers in both Bordeaux and Burgundy. This was a transformative experience for Mr. Harlan, and it convinced him that Napa Valley had the potential to produce world-class wines. Following his trip to France, Mr. Harlan purchased 240 acres of land in the western hills of Napa Valley and began planting vines in what is now recognized as the Oakville AVA. With respect to site selection, viticulture, and winemaking, Mr. Harlan implemented much of what he learned during his trip to France. For example, just like the Grand Cru vineyards in Burgundy, all the Harlan Estate vineyards are planted mid-slope. This is because vineyards planted at mid-slope have ideal conditions for sun exposure, drainage, and temperature regulation. For that reason, you won't see any Harlan vineyards planted on the valley floor. The Harlan Estate is absolutely stunning. It's located in Oakville, and it overlooks the famous Martha's Vineyard. There's 40 acres planted to vine, but these vineyards are surrounded by woodlands and wildlife. During my visit to Harlan Estate earlier this year, I was perhaps most struck by what was not there. By that, I mean that I just come from another winery that's extremely well known as a cult wine producer, and that winery had an indoor cave with a Vegas-style nightclub that had a DJ booth and a dance floor. In stark contrast, Harlan is very much a working winery. There's absolutely no flash, no showmanship, and everything is practical and serves a purpose. What about the wines? Well, the quality is absolutely amazing. If you have not yet tried a wine from Harlan Estate, it should definitely be on your bucket list. In my view, Mr. Harlan has absolutely succeeded in his quest to produce a California first growth. There have been at least 10 different vintages that have received 100-point scores to date. In my view, at least the 1994 and 2013 vintages of Harlan are two of the very best wines ever produced in Napa Valley and would certainly compare favorably to any Cabernet Sauvignon-based wines produced anywhere in the world. I'm going to go on record in this video and say that I also think that there's another epic vintage of Harlan in the works, specifically the 2023 vintage. During my visit, I got an early read on this wine by doing a barrel taste. Despite its youth, this wine featured remarkable purity of fruit and balance. It was extraordinarily elegant, and it even had a blue fruit profile. In many ways, it reminded me of the Colgan Herb Lamb bottlings. How does Harlan achieve its tremendous quality? Well, there's a meticulous attention to detail in every phase of the operation, including every step of the grape growing and winemaking process. But one of the most significant factors is that, much like the first growths in Bordeaux, there's an extremely strict selection of fruit. Only the very best fruit, which meets their high standards, is included in the Harlan Estate top wine. The fruit which does not meet the standards required to be included in the top wine goes into a wine that's called the Maiden, which is their second wine. And the fruit from some of their younger vines is not included in either the top wine or in the Maiden, but is instead relegated to a third wine that's called the Mascot.